The day of our 8th anniversary was the day my boyfriend, Leo, had promised to propose. He had spared no expense, orchestrating a citywide drone show that promised to be spectacular. The drones danced and swirled in the night sky, forming intricate patterns, but they never once spelled out my name. Yes, the star of this grand performance was my boyfriend. But the leading lady wasn't me. It was his so-called childhood friend, his little sister. With tears streaming down my face, I asked him why. Why today of all days? He just frowned, his face a mask of impatience. She said she wanted to see a drone show, so what's the big deal? I think of her as my own sister. You're getting more and more irrational. We've been together for 8 years. Are you really worried I'm going to run off? Are you that desperate to marry me? You have to force me into a proposal in front of all these people? Then, in front of everyone, he snatched a wine glass from a nearby table and smashed it against my head. Blood dripped, hot and sticky, onto the crisp white fabric of my dress. The dress was ruined. And so were the 8 years of my life I had given him. And yet, after we broke up, he would chase after me relentlessly, begging me to be his wife. What happened? I thought I was the one desperate to be married. I stared in a daze at the small, crimson blossoms blooming across my white skirt, momentarily unable to speak. Leo, however, seemed blind to the wound on my forehead, his voice still booming with accusations. So what if Chloe wanted to see a drone show? I honestly don't know what you're so upset about. Are you really that petty? Mia, I never realized before what a nauseating woman you are. I looked at the man I had loved for 8 years and found I had nothing to say. Today was our 8th anniversary, the day he had promised to propose. A week ago, I'd found the planning documents for this drone show on his desk. I'd been filled with breathless anticipation, believing it was a surprise for me. I had worn a white dress and a delicate white veil, arriving full of hope. But he was already holding another woman. His childhood friend, his sister, Chloe. They stood in the center of a laughing circle of friends, looking for all the world like the perfect couple. In the sky, the drones formed letters, a heart, and the initials, WL. As I stood there, lost in the memory, Chloe tugged on Leo's sleeve, her sweet, cloying voice reaching my ears. Leo, don't be so mean. You're scaring me. She glanced at me. Look, you've hurt Mia. You're such a big bully, being so rough with a girl. If it weren't for Mia's good temper, who else would put up with you? Instantly, Leo's anger evaporated. He gently ruffled her hair. I'm just upset, Chloe. This was the drone show you've been looking forward to for so long. Don't be scared. I would never get angry at you. I just wanted to make your little wish come true, and now it's been ruined by someone unimportant. I'm sorry. Unimportant. The word struck me like a sledgehammer, punching bloody holes in my heart. I wiped the blood from my forehead with a furious swipe of my hand, tore the veil from my hair, and threw it to the ground. I walked away without looking back. Laughter followed me. Who does Mia think she is? She's just a woman living off Leo's money. What right does she have to be angry? Exactly. 8 years together and she still doesn't trust him. How pathetic. Well, that's because our Chloe is just too important. Isn't that the truth? Everyone knows Chloe is the jewel of Leo's heart. What does that make Mia? They were right. I was nothing. So be it. Goodbye, Leo. Back at our apartment, I went straight to the bathroom to clean myself up. The cut on my forehead, though bleeding profusely, wasn't deep. After I'd tended to the wound, I walked back into the living room to find Leo there, with Chloe in tow. The moment he saw me, the gentle smile on his face vanished. Look at the state of you. You just showered and didn't even dry your hair. You're dripping water everywhere. Chloe was worried about you, so she insisted on coming to check on your injury. I told her you'd be fine. You've always been good at playing the victim to get sympathy. The contempt in his eyes was another blow to my heart. My hair was thick and long because Leo loved it that way and never let me cut it. But I always hated the tedious process of blow-drying it. In the past, he would patiently coax me. Come on, Mia, my love. I'll dry it for you. I'll dry Mia's hair for the rest of her life. I, Leo, am Mia's personal, lifelong hairstylist. Now, he just saw me as unkempt. The difference between love and its absence was starkly, painfully clear. Before I could respond, Chloe had darted into my walk-in closet. A moment later, she gasped. Wow, Mia, your closet is huge. Leo is so good to you. I'm so jealous. Oh my god, is this the classic Chanel flap? It's impossible to find now. I've been looking for this bag for ages. She emerged, holding the bag in her hands. Mia, can I have this bag? I love this style so much. But it's an old model, you can't find it anywhere. I've asked so many personal shoppers and sales associates, and no one can get it. Yours looks brand new, and it wasn't even that expensive. Please? Can you give it to me? I didn't answer her. My eyes were on Leo. We had gone through a period of intense struggle when we were first starting his company. This bag was his gift to me after he signed his first major contract. It was my very first luxury item. It wasn't expensive, just a basic entry-level piece. But to me, it was priceless. It was a testament to our journey, to the hardships we had overcome together. Even after my closet filled with a wall of more expensive bags, I could never bring myself to use this one. Leo knew exactly what this bag meant to me. Yet, he frowned and spoke. Chloe is talking to you. Are you deaf? You never use this bag anyway. Since Chloe likes it, just give it to her. You have so many bags, you won't miss this one. I nodded, my face impassive. You're right. It's just one bag. The bags, the clothes, the jewelry in that closet, she can take her pick. See if there's anything else you like. Take it all. And the man, if she likes him, she can take him too. With that, I turned and walked back to my room, not waiting to see their reactions. Behind me, Chloe's voice piped up, timidly. Is Mia upset? I'm sorry, Leo. It's my fault. I shouldn't have asked for her bag. Forget it. Slam. I shut the door to my room. Leo's furious voice seeped through the wood. Don't mind her. Her temper is getting worse and worse. You were worried about her, and she gives you this attitude? What gives her the right? Take the bag. Let's go. I'll take you home. The sounds of the front door opening and closing plunged the apartment back into silence. The tears I had been holding back all day finally fell. It hurt. Of course, it hurt. My head, my heart. Everything hurt. 8 years. I had been with Leo for 8 years. It wasn't some fleeting infatuation, it was 8 years of unwavering companionship, of trusting him with my entire heart. From the moment he walked in until he left, he never once asked about the gash on my forehead. I gently touched the wound, a cold desolation settling over me. When we first moved in together after college, we lived in a tiny, single room in a rundown part of the city. The streets were littered with gravel. And one day I tripped and fell. My knee was barely red, not even scraped. But that night, Leo's eyes were red-rimmed as he stared at my knee. Mia, does it hurt? Am I useless, Mia, making you live in a place like this? Mia, do you believe in me? I swear I'll give you a better life. I will never let you down. Back then, his world revolved around me. The promises still echoed in my ears, but the object of his affection had changed. I wiped my tears and began to pack. I didn't take much, just a few essential clothes. The contents of the walk-in closet, all things Leo had bought, could stay for Chloe. Leo wasn't back when I left. It was late, and I had nowhere else to go, so I took a taxi to a hotel. I had come to this city for him. Now that I was leaving him, it seemed only right to leave the city too. A fitting end. Shortly after I checked in, my phone started ringing. It was Leo. I ignored it. After several missed calls, the texts began. Why aren't you home? Where did you go so late? I told you, I only see Chloe as a sister. Is it really worth getting this angry over? You've become so unreasonable. Where are you? I'll come pick you up. A moment later, another message came through. Chloe says there's a strange man outside her house and she's scared. I'm going to check on her. You should take tonight to cool off by yourself. I scoffed at the screen and blocked his number. I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep, but perhaps from the emotional exhaustion of the day, or the finality of my decision, I fell asleep almost instantly. The next morning, I was woken by a frantic banging on my hotel room door. As soon as I opened it, Leo burst in, yelling. Why isn't your phone working? It's been a whole night, are you still throwing a tantrum? If I didn't have your location tracked on my phone, where would I have even found you? Mia, that's enough. My patience has a limit. I glanced at him. There were fresh love bites on his neck. My voice was ice. Before you come barking at me, why don't you wipe your own ass clean first? But since you're here, there's something I forgot to tell you last night. Leo, we're breaking up. He frowned, about to speak, but was interrupted by Chloe, who had just arrived. She swept into the room like a whirlwind and latched onto his arm. Leo, wait for me. I'm so glad you stayed with me last night. I don't know what I would have done otherwise. But why were you in such a hurry this morning? What are you doing at a hotel? Only then did her gaze land on me. She feigned shock, covering her mouth with her hand. Mia? What are you doing here? This is a hotel, isn't it? You're not still angry that Leo went to stay with me, are you? You can't do things like this just to spite him. A girl has to have some self-respect. Her words became more and more outrageous. I slapped her hard across the face, cutting her off. Save your filthy thoughts for yourself. Just because you're a slut doesn't mean everyone else is. And stop playing the victim. That act only works on brainless men like Leo. Now get out. The sight of you makes me sick. Seeing me strike her, Leo rushed to shield Chloe in his arms and shoved me hard. Mia. Don't you go too far. Why are you so angry? Is it because Chloe hit a nerve? Take your anger out on me. Why are you hitting her? I was unprepared for the push and stumbled backward, falling to the floor. Luckily, the hotel room was carpeted, and I wasn't hurt. Not that Leo noticed. His entire world was focused on Chloe. He gently caressed her reddened cheek, his voice dripping with concern. Does it hurt? Why didn't you dodge when she hit you? Why didn't you hit back? You're still as clumsy as when we were kids. All those years abroad and you still haven't learned to protect yourself. Tears rolled down Chloe's cheeks, making her look like a frightened little rabbit. But Mia is your girlfriend. How could I hit her back? If I hurt her, you would have been upset, and I don't want to make you unhappy. It's normal that she doesn't like me. I'll stay away from you from now on. I don't want you two to fight because of me anymore. I was tired of their performance. I got to my feet and pointed to the door. I assume your little affair doesn't need an audience, does it? Then please get out. I'm afraid I'm going to be sick. Are you leaving, or do I have to call the police? Perhaps because I had hit his precious sister, or perhaps because my attitude had finally pushed him over the edge, Leo pulled Chloe towards the door, glaring at me. You've got a lot of nerve, Mia. You've lived with me for years, eating my food, spending my money. Let's see how you survive without me. Remember, you're the one who said you wanted to break up. You'd better not come crawling back to me. With that, he dragged Chloe out of the room without a backward glance. I shut the door and finally broke down, sobbing. Leo was now the celebrated CEO Wang, but the company was something we had built together. In our poorest days, we lived in the cheapest tenement in the city, surviving on instant noodles from the wholesale market. He was proud, hated the schmoozing of business dinners, and believed his talent alone would be recognized. So I became the one who drank with clients, who navigated the treacherous world of business deals. I still remember it clearly. One week, I had 6 dinners in 7 days, all to secure contracts. I remember coming home one night, so drunk I collapsed over the toilet, vomiting until there was nothing left but bile. Leo held me tightly, ignoring the mess, his voice choked with emotion. Mia, I swear I'll give you a better life. I will never let you suffer again. I'll work 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times harder. I, Leo, will never, ever let Mia down in this lifetime. His tears fell onto my neck that night, hot like the heart I had offered him. After the company took off, he couldn't bear to see me humbling myself for business anymore. So, at his request, I stayed home, taking care of him and our little world. But now, he had forgotten all of that. Now, in his eyes, I was just someone who had been living off him. The boy I remembered was gone, lost to time. I wiped my tears and dialed a name in my contacts that I hadn't called in a very long time. Ethan. He answered almost immediately. There was a long silence on his end. I hesitated, then forced myself to speak. Ethan. Are you still hiring at your company? I'm looking for a job. Right now, Before I could finish, he cut me off. Monday. Be at the office. After hanging up, I booked the next flight out of Jiangqing. Goodbye, Leo. Ethan was my original business partner. In our junior year of college, we used a student startup loan to create our own small company. It was just the two of us. Ethan was brilliant, and I had the grit to go out and secure clients. Our skills complemented each other perfectly. By the time we graduated, our small company was already well on its way. It was around that time that I met Leo, who was also in the early stages of his own startup, at a business dinner. I saw him being bullied by some clients and, feeling a pang of sympathy, stepped in to help him. By then, Ethan's company was already stable and growing. So, after I started dating Leo, I left the company I had built with Ethan and followed Leo to Jiangqing. Ethan was never happy about my choice, and we had barely spoken since. That small company was now the Lu Corporation, a leading enterprise in the provincial capital, frequently featured in financial news. Standing in front of the gleaming office building, I felt a wave of uncertainty. I had thought Ethan wouldn't even answer my call, let alone offer me a job. Taking a deep breath, I walked into the lobby. When his secretary led me into his office, he was looking down at a file. He hadn't changed much over the years, just a few more lines of experience etched on his handsome face. He put down the file and looked at me. So? You broke up? His directness caught me off guard. I bit my lip. My personal life has nothing to do with my work. Something in my expression or my words seemed to please him. A smile touched his eyes. The planning department. Are you interested? You were always brilliant with proposals. I doubt you've lost your touch. But since you haven't worked in years, you'll start as a regular employee. The Lu Corporation was famous for its excellent salary and benefits. People were desperate to get in. I knew this was a favor, a call on our old friendship. I bowed deeply. Thank you, Mr. Liu, for this opportunity. I promise I will work hard. He just gave a small wave of his hand. I understood and turned to leave. Just as I reached the door, his low voice stopped me. Wait for me after work. We'll have dinner. The following week, I was so immersed in the joy of being back at work that I barely thought of Leo. After turning off my phone's location sharing and blocking him on all platforms, I finally found some peace. At the end of another long day, I snapped a picture of my desk and posted it online. Another day in the corporate grind. The good kind of pain. Half an hour later, a comment appeared from Chloe. Mia, why are you back in the capital? Have you really given up on Leo? I then realized my company ID badge, with the company name, was visible in the photo. My good mood vanished. I'd remembered to block Leo, but I'd forgotten about her. I promptly blocked her too. The world was finally, truly quiet. But the next day, I saw Leo waiting for me at the company entrance. I tried to walk past him without looking, but he grabbed my wrist. It's been half a month. Aren't you over it yet? I really do see Chloe as a sister, and she's not what you think. She was the one who told me you were back in town. You've really misunderstood her, Mia. When I didn't respond, his tone softened. Chloe and I grew up as neighbors. She doesn't know anyone else here after coming back from abroad. Who else is going to help her? Fine, fine. If it really bothers you that much, I'll see her less. Is that okay? Come back with me. I came all this way to get you. I pulled my hand free and looked at him coldly. We've already broken up. Why are you still here? Do you know what breakup means, Mr. Wong? Or do I need to teach you? If you have nothing better to do, then leave. Don't keep me from my work. He stepped forward, about to say more, but was interrupted by a fist connecting squarely with his jaw. I hadn't even seen Ethan approach. The next thing I knew, Ethan had pulled me behind him. He didn't say a word, just stared at Leo. Leo Wong. Long time no see. Humiliated by being punched in public, Leo became enraged. Mia, this is the real reason you wanted to break up, isn't it? The moment we break up, you run back to your old flame? Can't you stand being alone for a second? Work? More like you're his little secretary, warming his bed. His words grew uglier, and a crowd began to form. I couldn't take it anymore. I strode forward and slapped him hard. Leo! Don't disgust me. You know exactly why we broke up. What's the point of this pathetic attempt to shift the blame? I was with you for 8 years. Don't make this uglier than it has to be. A flicker of panic crossed his face. Mia, that's not what I meant. Don't be angry. I was just upset. I was jealous. I was just talking nonsense. Don't be angry, Mia. I was amazed at how quickly he could change his tune, but I was done engaging. I cut him off with a wave of my hand. Just go back to Jiangqing. Stop wasting your time here. Leo, after all these years, I don't owe you anything, and I don't want to be entangled with you anymore. Let's just part ways peacefully. Without another glance at him, I walked into the company building. I thought that would be the end of it. But from that day on, Leo started waiting for me outside my office every single day. Day 1, a bouquet of pink lychee roses. Mia, your favorite. I went to several florists to find the best ones. Day 2, a fluffy teddy bear. Mia, isn't he cute? You used to say a teddy bear on your bed could chase away the monsters in your dreams. You didn't take your old one, so I bought you a new one. Day 3, the bag Chloe had taken. Mia, I got it back from Chloe. I promise, from now on, your things are your own. I'll never make decisions for you again. I know this bag is important to you because you still have feelings for me. I understand. Day after day, something new. Even though I threw every gift into the nearest trash can in front of him, his enthusiasm didn't wane. He was desperately trying to make me remember the past, to make me soften. But looking at him, all I felt was a deepening sadness. Leo, you remembered everything. Every little detail. But over time, I became someone you could treat carelessly. It wasn't that you forgot, you just chose not to care anymore. On the 20th day, he wasn't at the office. I breathed a sigh of relief. But when I got off the elevator at my apartment building, I saw him waiting at my door. He walked up to me, dropped to one knee, and held out a diamond ring. Mia, let's get married. Since you want to get married, let's do it. It's been so many years. We should have a home together. His actions made me laugh, a harsh, bitter sound. Leo, what makes you think I would ever say yes to you? We've broken up. Do you really not understand my words? We're not even a couple anymore. How can we get married? He seemed genuinely surprised that I would refuse. He frowned. Isn't this what you've been fighting for all this time? To force me to marry you? I've spent all this time trying to win you back. You want to get married, so I'm proposing. What else are you not satisfied with? Tell me, and I'll do it. Looking at the face I had loved for 8 years, I felt for the first time that I had been in love with an idiot. First of all, we've broken up, so I don't want to marry you. Secondly, what do you mean, you're proposing because I want to get married? Am I supposed to thank you for this grand favor? Just stop. I'm tired from work. Just go. I turned my back on him, unlocked my door, and shut it behind me. He knocked for a long time. When it was clear I wasn't going to open it, his voice came through the door, low and heavy. Mia, I have to go on a business trip for a few days. I might not be around. I'll come find you when I'm back. I'm serious about getting married. Think about it. Take care of yourself, Mia. My peace didn't last long. 3 days after he left, Chloe showed up. She waited for me outside my office and started screaming at me the moment she saw me. Where's Leo? What did you say to him? Didn't you two break up? Why are you still clinging to him? Playing hard to get, are you, Mia? Leo's been ignoring me. Where is he? Where is he? I shook her off, looking at her like she was insane. Are you crazy? I'm not his mother. Why are you asking me where he is? So you drop the sweet act when he's not around, huh? Look at you. You're no different from a common shrew. Leave me alone. If you want to find him yourself. I started walking towards the street to hail a cab, but she grabbed my clothes, screaming. As a crowd gathered, she suddenly dropped to her knees and began to sob dramatically. Mia, I'm begging you, give Leo back to me. You two have already broken up, how can you still be so possessive? If I hadn't gone abroad, you never would have had a chance with him. I'm not going to hold the past against you, but please, I'm begging you, stop trying to ruin what we have now. Her performance was flawless. In a few sentences, she had transformed my 8-year relationship into a sordid affair, with me as the other woman. The onlookers ate it up, whispering and pointing. She looks so put together, but she's a homewrecker. That poor girl, crying like that. Why beg a woman like that? I'd slap her. Seriously. People have no shame these days. Being the other woman and acting so proud of it. There was no point in explaining. The crowd only believed what it wanted to believe. I pushed through them and headed for the street, desperate to escape. The longer I spent around Leo or Chloe, the more I felt my life force draining away. As I reached the curb, Chloe scrambled up and grabbed me again. Mia, you can't leave. You have to tell me where Leo is. You must have said something to him, otherwise he'd never ignore me. In the struggle, I saw a motorcycle out of the corner of my eye. It was speeding, veering wildly towards us on the sidewalk. On pure instinct, I shoved Chloe out of the way. A searing pain shot through me, and then, darkness. My last conscious thought was, damn it. I really need to stay away from this crazy couple. I woke up in the hospital. Leo was there. When he saw my eyes open, he rushed to my side. Mia, you're finally awake. Are you in pain anywhere? Tell me, I'll get the doctor. Don't be scared, it's okay, I'm here with you. To be honest, the concern in his eyes was real. It had been a long time since I had seen him look at me with such raw, undisguised worry. If I had seen that look before our 8th anniversary, I would have found a million reasons to keep holding on. But now, I didn't need them. My cold gaze flickered to Chloe, who was standing beside him, then back to Leo. Do you know why I got hit? You want to get back together, right? Then show me some sincerity. I don't need empty words. His expression faltered. Mia, it wasn't really Chloe's fault. Let's just let it go. She didn't mean for it to happen. Besides, you're not seriously injured. His words made me laugh. Is this what you call cutting ties with her? You want to get back together with me, you propose to me. She comes to my office, calls me a homewrecker, and causes me to get into an accident, and you think we should just let it go? He pursed his lips, silent. I scoffed. Fine. Take your mistress and get out. I'm tired. The sight of you two makes me want to vomit. If you really cared about me, you would leave and never bother me again. Seeing that I was serious, Leo finally turned to Chloe. Chloe, you should go. And we should probably see less of each other from now on. You. See, even though I only think of you as a sister, you're affecting my relationship with Mia. Mia and I are getting married. You should go. Tears immediately welled up in Chloe's eyes. Leo, are you abandoning me? You said you would always be there for me, that you would always take care of me. Are you telling me this woman has tricked you? She's just trying to trap you into marriage. Seeing her pathetic display, Leo hesitated again. I laughed to myself. Even now, when he supposedly wanted me back, he couldn't bring himself to be firm with her. I could already see my future if I were foolish enough to marry him, a three-person marriage. Sensing his hesitation, Chloe played her final card. How can you marry her? I'm pregnant. Leo looked at her in disbelief, then turned to me, frantically trying to explain. Mia, don't misunderstand. Chloe's just saying that because she's upset about your accident. Nothing happened between us. I really do just see her as a sister. Chloe pulled him back. I'm not lying. I am pregnant. Leo, don't you remember? The night of the drone show. You came to my place to comfort me. Are you not going to take responsibility for me? There's a living, breathing life inside me. Leo looked as if he'd been struck by lightning. He froze, a look of dawning horror on his face. Seeing his expression, what else was there to know? I waved a dismissive hand, tired of their drama. Just go. Get married. Have the baby. Chloe, if you're pregnant. Then settle down. Stop causing trouble, and stay away from me. And you, Leo, cherish the person in front of you. Now, for the last time, get out. I'm going to be sick. Leo took a step towards my bed, still wanting to explain, but at that moment, Ethan burst into the room and punched him squarely in the face. She told you to get out. Didn't you hear her? Perhaps because of Chloe's pregnancy, or perhaps because he finally understood that I was never coming back, Leo and Chloe left the hospital and returned to Jiangqing. My world was finally quiet. A month later, at the company's IPO celebration party, a drunk Ethan leaned his head on my shoulder, his warm breath tickling my ear. Mia. Now, can it be me? You can always do what you want, live the life you choose. But, can I be a part of that life? In my time at the Lu Corporation, I'd heard the rumors. Ethan was a workaholic, a machine who never dated, never had a woman by his side. I had my suspicions as to why, but I never dared to confirm them. Ending an 8-year relationship was almost like getting a divorce. When I didn't answer, he finally lost his patience and grabbed my waist, his grip tight. You still can't forget him? You probably have no idea how much I regret not telling you how I felt back then. I wanted to wait until the company was on solid ground, I wanted to give you a better life. But then you turned around and ran off to Jiangqing with some broke kid. I can't tell you how many nights I'd woken up hating myself. If I had known you had a thing for broke kids, I wouldn't have worked so hard, only to hand you over to someone else. Mia, I don't want to wait anymore. I silenced him with a kiss. A year later, on my honeymoon cruise with Ethan, I got a call from a mutual friend from my old life with Leo. Mia, did you hear? Chloe had the baby, and it's mixed race. Leo's company went bankrupt, and Chloe took the kid and ran off. Turns out she was already with someone else when she was abroad. She just came back to target Leo. The kid is probably her foreign husband's. She just scammed Leo for his money and went back to her happy life. Now Leo's lost his mind. He's looking for her everywhere. After I hung up, Ethan looked at me with a pout, clearly jealous. I laughed and patted his cheek. Why are you looking at me like that? You don't really think I still have feelings for him, do you? I just feel a bit sad about it. Leo was actually talented. It's a shame he ended up like this. You, on the other hand, are amazing. Your company is only ever on the rise. My words puffed him up like a proud puppy. He nuzzled his head into the crook of my neck. Of course. And Mia, do you know why the company is thriving? It's not because I'm a genius. It's because. He drew out the last word, his voice a playful whisper. A man who adores his wife, Mia, finds that all tides rise in his favor.